Welcome back to the Esports Juice Box, where we break down this week's esports news into digestible sizes for your easy consumption. I'm your host, Hayden Kim. This episode, we talk about the retirement of Beaulo, a recap of the Blast Spring group stage, and looking at who's hot and who's not in the LCS. The professional Rainbow Six Siege world was rocked last week when Rainbow Six Siege icon and one of the greatest players to ever touch the game, Beaulo, announced his retirement from professional Rainbow.
No easy way to do this. I am retiring from Rainbow Six Pro Play.
Jason Dottie, most commonly known by his in-game name of Beaulo, first popped on the scene as a content creator on YouTube as a young teen. Even at his young age, his skill could not be ignored. So much so that many began to suspect that he was cheating.
Completely flicked to the other side of the garage and shot and killed me. Headshotted me. Right in the head. Yeah. Beaulo is not, this kid's not legit.
However, his skill turned out to be 100% legit. As his popularity soared, he decided to turn pro and signed with TSM on June 16, 2019. He began to see massive amounts of success, winning an MVP at DreamHack Montreal 2019, only 3 months after signing with TSM. After years of success, Beaulo capped off his career with a long-awaited win at the Six Invitational in 2022.
Empire have come so close before, but they've fallen short and they'll do so again. TSM said trust the process. The process just won you a world championship. TSM are your Sixth Invitational 2022 world champs.
While Beaulo was playing professionally and winning tournaments, he was still making content and amassed 1.3 million subscribers on YouTube. Now that he has reached the pinnacle of professional Rainbow, he wants to focus on content creation. However, his impact on professional Rainbow Six Siege cannot be overstated. He was a bona fide celebrity, and still is, and has the performances to back it up. We hope to see so much more from Beaulo as he continues onto his next chapter of his career. Next, in CSGO, the Blast Premier Spring groups wrapped up last week with G2, FaZe, Vitality, Astralis, Heroic, and Na'Vi all qualifying directly to the Blast Premier Spring Finals. The other 6 teams will have an opportunity to qualify at the Spring Showdown in April. Among those teams who failed to qualify is my favorite team, OG, as they lost in heartbreaking fashion in overtime on Map 3 to Astralis in the qualifying game.
Finally, Astralis, a year of showdowns and 2 kills away. 2 kills secured. We'll see you in Washington.
Yeah, that one still stings. But in stark contrast, G2 showed out as they went undefeated in the tournament, beating a sluggish Big and beating Simple's Na'Vi twice in a clean sweep. Nico in particular went crazy, getting 158 kills in 6 maps, averaging nearly 27 kills a map with a phenomenal 57% headshot percentage.
What an active round for the CTs already, and from the T side as well. Nico starts another headshot. He needs the 4th and he'll get it. Oh my god! We are off to a hot start. The last one is Modesty, and they have just decapitated Na'Vi.
As expected, Zyru and Vitality performed well, but they would not have been as successful without their newest member, Spinks, popping off with 154 kills in 7 maps, averaging 22 kills a map, with an accurate 61% headshot percentage. Between Zyru being one of the best players in the game and Spinks turning into a top-tier rifler, it's no wonder that Vitality cruised to the top spot in the tournament.
Out from default, that one's gonna go downwards. Oh, Zywu! Of course! Zywu from the pocket!
I think the most questionable team coming out of this tournament has to be Na'Vi. Na'Vi came out with a new look as they replaced SDY with Nipple last month. However, the youngster has had a rough series of performances, to say the least. Since moving up to the main Na'Vi roster, Nipple has performed below average with a .93 HLTV rating, which is a metric that takes multiple stats and rates them between 0 and 2, with 1 being the average professional CSGO player. While Na'Vi still has the greatest player of all time in Simple on their roster, and one of the better young riflers in Bit, in an era of CSGO with some of the greatest parity and competitiveness we've ever seen, a championship caliber team needs all 5 members to click on all 5 cylinders. And that's where this becomes questionable. If Nipple can develop into a stronger rifler and become more dependable, Na'Vi will return to major winning form. But after the failure of the SDY experiment, time is ticking. But we won't have to wait long at all, as IEM Katowice kicks off this week as the first high-stakes tournament of the year. We are now a couple weeks into the LCS, and things are already not what we expected. FlyQuest is dominating the LCS with a 4-0 start and strong wins over Cloud9, Golden Guardians, Team Liquid, and Dignitas, being the only remaining undefeated team in the LCS. In particular, Prince in the bot lane and Impact in the top lane have been popping off. However, this entire team is clicking as they are cruising to wins over some of the strongest teams in the LCS, like Cloud9 and Team Liquid.
It's now or never. They gotta find some sort of a way in. They have Blabber try to go after Prince. The damage goes through, but it's only going through right back onto C9. Vikla goes on a rampage, and Fudge is going in a body bag. Impact gets it done. Sven runs back. Berserker runs back, and FlyQuest runs forward, straight into the heart of C9, and straight into a 30-minute win.
Speaking of Cloud9, minus their loss to the aforementioned FlyQuest, they have been performing rather well through week 2, with wins over CLG, Dignitas, and 100 Thieves. Berserker, at only 19 years of age, has been a star ADC for Cloud9, as he currently has the highest KDA in all of the LCS, with a KDA of 19. Alongside him is his top laner, Fudge, who picked up a Player of the Week for Week 1, as he has the highest KDA among all top laners, with a KDA of a 10.4.
Counter-attack, a 1-for-1, but Fudge is still in danger. Contracts gets a little bit more of a boost here from the Orianna, speed enough to catch up, but it's reposted. Most of the damage is gone. Duplex over the wall, the outplay! It's Fudge! Again and again and again and again and again! He makes it happen for C9.
Next up, 100 Thieves. Even though they had a rough start, being absolutely rolled over by Cloud9 in their first game with their new roster, they seem to have figured it out, as they have won their last 3. Granted, 2 of those wins were against weaker teams in Immortals and Dignitas. They dominated against a fairly talented TSM, as Doublelift and Bjergsen beat their old team and aimed to dispel the washed-up veteran label.
Into the fountain as the base collapses, and 100 Thieves make it look easy against TSM. 30 minutes into the game, 19 kills to 1. Can they make it 20? Not quite. Yes, there it is. 100 Thieves, 20-2.
Now, the most disappointing team has to be Team Liquid. After picking up 2 world champions in jungler Pioshik and head coach Marin from the best regions in League of Legends, the LCK in Korea, you would think that they would have taken strides and be dominating the LCS. But alas, this team just isn't clicking. Pioshik is just about middle of the pack in most major statistical categories, and is even last in the entire LCS in kill participation, which as a jungler, which means that they're all over the map the entire game, they should be getting extremely high kill participation rates, with the average being roughly 75%, while Pioshik is just about 34%.
And is he trying to like calm people down, remind everyone to chill, or? Oh, I think so. Oh,
hold on. Pioshik goes for the ulti, but Pioshik is just immediately shuffled back underneath the turret. Pioshik nearly dead here, trying to make that play on Vikla. You can see the Maokai ulti comes out and it catches them. Speak up, First Blood's the world champ.
They got rolled over by Cloud9 in week 1 and lost to TSM the next day. Their only 2 wins are against the lowly Immortals and Golden Guardians, the latter game which was way closer than it should have been. Needless to say, this all-Korean speaking experiment is turning out to be much more sour than we had hoped. They definitely still have time to turn things around, but the clock is ticking and the season is slowly progressing. And that's it for this week in the Esports Juice Box. I'm Hayden Kim, and I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. That's good, I think.